welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to sit down and do the highlighter tag for you. I don't think I was really planning on filming this, but I got a couple of requests for it, so I figured I would sit down and film it for you. If you do not know, over the summer, Samantha March and Allie Gline started something called the eyeshadow palette tag, where they just answered a bunch of questions and picked an eyeshadow for each question. I went ahead and did that when I first started my page a couple months ago, and then I did end up doing the blush tag and the bronzer tag as well. And under both those videos, I had a couple people requesting me do kind of the same thing, but for my highlights. I actually didn't even know that I had enough highlights. Like when I saw that request, I thought, oh, that's a cute idea. Like I should do that. And then I was like, I don't even know if I can. I don't know if I have that many highlights to answer all the questions. And turns out I do, plus more, because this isn't even all my highlights. So that's what we are going to be doing today, the highlighter tag. So if you are interested and you want to hear me answer all the questions that I did about my blushes and my bronzers, but for highlighters, and let's go ahead and get started. The first question is, what is your newest highlight? And that is this one by Jouer. This is their Molten Glow highlight. I got this back in August. It's just a really pretty gold highlight. You can see a swatch right there for you. I'm pretty sure this was limited edition and then they brought it back, and I just heard a lot of people on my Instagram page loving it and raving about it and just thinking that it was the most beautiful gold highlight. So I decided to pick it up. This packaging is absolutely stunning. Look how beautiful that is. It's just a whole bunch of sparkle, but it's not like rough or anything to where it feels funny. I know like sparkly stuff like that, I hate that. It like creeps me out, but this is like really smooth and pretty and just beautiful. The highlight inside matches the beautiful outside packaging, and I'm so glad I picked this up. I think it's still available, and if it is, I really highly recommend you checking it out because it is stunning on the cheeks, and I wouldn't want you to miss out on it if it disappears again. But yeah, this is my newest highlight. Next up is your oldest highlight, and I think this is my oldest. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm 99% sure, and it is the Kylie Cosmetics. This is her loose highlight, and this is in the shade Santorini. I've had this for a couple years now. I never reach for this ever. Like I just never do. It's a loose highlight, like I said, so it's honestly messy. Like it is so messy. Like look how much, I don't even think you can tell. Look how much is up in that cap. Oh my gosh, I will say it's a really pretty highlight. Let me swatch it. It's a really pretty blinding highlight. It really is, but because it's like, look at that. But because it's so loose and messy, I think I've used this maybe 3 or 4 times, which stinks because now seeing this swatch, I'm like, why are you not using this more? But really it's because it's loose and it's just messy. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I got this back in like 2018 or so. So I think it's like almost 2 to 3 years old. But yeah, this is, I'm 99% sure, my oldest highlight. For most expensive, this is the only palette I have. I decided not to include any highlights from like face palettes because there are a couple highlights in face palettes that I love, but I decided to just stick with my single highlights, liquid, anything like that, not in palettes. This is a palette, but it is a all highlight palette, so that's why I'm including it. And my most expensive is the Jaclyn Cosmetics, the Flash palette. I paid full price for this. I did. It's $49. $49. You get 4 beautiful highlights, which is a plus, I will say that, but it was still $49. And I paid full price. I did. When this first launched, it sold out very quickly, and I thought it was absolutely stunning. And then I saw a ton of really good reviews about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need that in my life. So when it came back in stock, I bought it. And yeah, I paid $49 for it. I actually paid more because I'm pretty sure there was shipping. So here's all 4 of them swatched for you. You can't really see this darkest one, but we have Gleam, Ice, Sparks, and Mesmerize. And they are really beautiful, honestly, they are. I don't reach for this as much as I should, especially for the cost, but I think that's because it's just so big and bulky, and it's not with the rest of my highlights because of how big and bulky it is, so I think I just like forget about it. But it really is beautiful. I paid full price. It ended up going on sale, but I just was like so gung-ho and bought it not on sale. But I don't think these are available anymore, sadly. I'm not sure why, because so many people have told her like, that was amazing, why did you get rid of your highlights? It was like the only launch of Jaclyn Cosmetics that went well. But yeah, this is my most expensive at $49. Hopefully she brings it back one day in case you missed out on it, but they really are beautiful, and I'm glad I picked this up. The next question is, what is your most affordable highlight? And that is definitely this one by e.l.f. It is their Jelly highlight. This retails for $6, but I do not recommend these at all. They are awful. Like honestly, I love a ton of things by e.l.f. I really highly recommend most things from that brand, and almost everything I've tried by them I love, but this is terrible. It is really like a jelly putty formula, if you can tell, but it dries so fast. It's ridiculous. It's stunning. Like, it is beautiful and blinding, but it dries so fast that you literally, like, you don't have time to blend. I think I used this maybe 2 times. Both times I took it on my finger and just tapped it on my cheeks and then took my Beaky blender and tried to blend it out really quickly. And these dry so incredibly fast. You literally have a stripe on your cheek. They do not blend in at all, like at all. So even though they're $6, I do not recommend. Like, just pass. Just save yourself the hassle of trying to blend and then having like a stripe on your cheek, and get something else that maybe is like a couple dollars more but will just wear and look so much better on your cheeks. I am planning on filming a highlighter, blush, and bronzer declutter soon. I don't know when, but soon. And this I already know is definitely getting decluttered. But yeah, $6, not worth it though. Pass. Next up, we have your everyday highlighter, and this isn't technically a highlighter, it's more of like a finishing powder, but I use it as a highlighter, so I'm putting it in this category, and it is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Luminous Light. I used to use this every single day for work, and that is exactly why I put it in my everyday highlighter. If you can tell, I have a little baby pan in it. Let me try to see if I can swatch it for you. It's a pretty light powder. Yeah, you can barely see it right there on my hand, but I would use this for work because it is such a natural highlight. It just gives your skin a beautiful glow that isn't too intimidating or too intense, because for work, I pretty much honestly would do like a full face of makeup. I just would do it less glamorous than like this, you know what I mean? So I didn't want a super blinding highlight on my cheek every day for work. So that is what I use this for, and that is exactly why I hit pan on it. A lot of people use this as like a finishing powder all over their face, and I have tried that one time, and this is just it's too intense for that. I put it all over my face one time, and literally, like, I looked like I was like the tinfoil man. Like, it just was too shiny for my liking. So that's why I use this as a highlight. It's a tiny bit dark, tiny bit. But like I said, I was just using it for work, dusting a little tiny bit on the top of my cheeks and above my eyebrows, and it worked perfectly for that. I'm not using it right now for work because I'm just like barely putting any makeup on for work, but I used to use this every day, and that's why it is my everyday highlight. Next up, we have Best Memory, which I'm not gonna lie, was kind of hard to pick for a highlight because, like, highlight, how are you supposed to have like a best memory for a highlight, you know what I mean? But I ended up picking the MAC Cosmetics Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle, and that is because I discovered this highlight when I was getting my makeup done for my wedding. So when I went and did my trial makeup, she used this on me and I thought it was beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, like, what are you using on my face that's making it look so glowy and stunning right now? And she showed me that it was this. And so I wrote it down in my notes on my phone, and then again, the day of my wedding, she used this again, and I just thought it looked beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. I do regret not doing my own makeup for my wedding day. When I told people I was getting my makeup done and not doing it myself, a lot of people were like, why? Like, why don't you just do it yourself? And my reason behind it was that I wanted to just relax and get pampered that day and get my makeup done and get my hair done and all of that. And it's not that I didn't like how my makeup turned out. I just, for my preferences, I think I would have liked it better if I did it myself. But anyways, she used this on me both in the trial and the day of my wedding, and that's a really good memory to me because obviously my wedding day was a really great day. I love my husband Mike more than anything on this earth. So I discovered this because I went and got my makeup done for our wedding day, so that's why I picked it for best memory. Okay, next up is a highlighter that you think is worth the hype, and I actually have two. I do. I'm just gonna touch on one really quickly because it's not available anymore, and I'm really sorry for mentioning it, but it's the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Omrizi highlighter. This gets so much hype, and for good reason. I love this highlighter so incredibly much. It is absolutely stunning. I'm not gonna talk about it too long because it's not available anymore, so if you do not have it, I am sorry, but if you have it, go pull it out and use it if you haven't in a while because it is beautiful, and I love this. Definitely worth the hype. But then the one that I picked that is actually still available that you can purchase, probably not gonna be much of a surprise, but it is the Charlotte Tilbury, the Beauty Light Wand, and this is in the shade Spotlight. So here is a swatch for you. It is beautiful, and it looks so wet on the cheeks and just so reflective and stunning. It lasts all day long. It's beautiful. I don't like the applicator. I know a lot of people talk about the applicator when it comes to these products by Charlotte Tilbury. This sponge is just, it's like weird. I don't know. It's weird. It's nice though that you can just go do and then blend it in with your sponge, but I've talked about this a lot of times on my channel. I love this highlight. It's pricey, but it's definitely worth the hype in my opinion. Okay, next up is a highlight you think is not worth the hype, and I feel kind of bad saying this product because I myself have hyped it up in the past. But I just think I've come to the conclusion that it's not my favorite thing on this earth like I thought it was. It is the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in the shade Flexitarian. I talked about it in my most recent Overhyped or Worth It video, so I won't talk about it too long here. It is blinding and stunning, but I just cannot find a way to put it on my cheeks without it looking like a stripe. So I really mainly keep this around to use in my inner corner. It is beautiful and it is not that expensive, so that's nice. It's just like these get so much hype. Just the Super Shock formula in general, the cheek and the eyeshadow, it just gets so much hype. And I like this. I'm gonna keep it around and it is stunning. Like, look at that. Oh my gosh, it's stunning. But like, I just feel like, well, of course I rubbed it in fine on my hand, but when I try to do that on my cheek, like I just went like this and absolutely like rubbed it in. I can't really do that on my cheek because it'll disturb all the makeup underneath. So I can't rub it in like that to make it look this beautiful on my cheek. And when I try to do that with like a beauty sponge or anything like that, it just like, I don't know, it ends up looking like a stripe and doesn't like melt into my skin and look like this on my cheek. If it did, heck yeah, this would definitely be worth the hype. But I don't know, I'm gonna keep this around. It's not like it's terrible and I'm gonna use it, but mainly just for my inner corner. I just don't think it's worth the hype that it gets. Then we have a favorite highlighter from one of your favorite brands, and I went ahead and chose the Natasha Denona Super Glow. I have the shade 01 Fair. This is another highlight that is just stunning on the cheeks and it's blinding. It's not for the faint of heart. Let me swatch it for you. Like it's pretty blinding. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely not as icy as Flexitarian, but I think it has just as much reflective qualities as the ColourPop one. It's like, this is way more expensive. This is $38. I actually thought it was going to be my most expensive one. This one and the Charlotte Tilbury one tied, they're both $38, but then the Jaclyn Hill one was $49. I had forgotten about it when I was trying to like write down my highlighters. Anyways, I love this highlight. I know it's pricey. I actually got mine on sale. Natasha Denona does quite a few sales on her website, I feel like throughout the year. And plus, this is available on Sephora, so when they have the Sephora sale, you can use your discount for that too. I love this. I think it's definitely worth it. I know that's not like the category, but this is another one that I think is worth the hype. But yeah, I love Natasha Denona. I think she's a really great brand. I've liked almost every single eyeshadow palette I've tried by her. And then obviously this highlight and then her lipsticks. I haven't tried anything else. There's definitely other ones I want to try. I wouldn't mind trying her foundation one day. She has a couple more eye products that I like, or that I would like to try. But yeah, she's one of my favorite brands. I really like using her and I love this highlight so much. If you're in the market for a new highlight and you don't mind like splurging on yourself, recommend. Next up is a highlight that you think is underrated, and I chose the Juvia's Place The Tribe Highlighter Volume 3. I really feel like I don't hear a ton of people talking about this highlight. Obviously, that's not me. I talk about this highlight all the time. I feel like this is probably like the 4th or 5th time I've mentioned just this product and how amazing I think it is. So like, I hype it up and I don't think it's underrated, but I feel like a lot of other people don't really talk about this as much as it should be talked about. This highlight is gorgeous. Let me swatch it. Like, are you serious? Is this real life right now? This is blinding. So if you like how blinding the ColourPop one is, but you find it kind of tricky to use and difficult to blend in like myself, try this out. I obviously have, it says volume 3. There are 2 other shades, so if this one doesn't work out for you, they have probably a shade that would work for you. But this is one of my favorite highlighters ever. It's stunning, it is blinding, it blends in beautifully into the skin. It doesn't look like a stripe, but it looks like poof, like literally people will be able to see you a mile away with this highlight on. I cannot get over it. I love it. Like I said, I don't see too many people talking about it, so it's definitely underrated in my book and it's a good one. And the last question is, what is your most used highlighter? And that is 100% my Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighter in the shade Blossom Glow. I actually hit pan on it. I hit pan on a highlighter. Like, look how massive this pan is. And it's pretty deep, honestly, if you can tell. It's a deep pan. And I just use this so much that I hit pan, and I'm really excited about that. Again, stunning, beautiful, blinding, love it. I love that it has a little tiny hint of pink, like a pink shift to it. None of my other highlights really have that, so whenever I do a look with pink eyeshadow or anything like that, I love reaching for this. Plus, it's just insanely affordable. It's like, this is crazy that this is $6 to me. I actually got mine for $2.50. It used to be $5, Wet n Wild, you know, jacked up the price $1. I understand. I do, not gonna lie, I do. But I got this when it used to be $5, and then it was half off at Ulta. So I got this for $2.50. and it's beautiful and it's stunning and it's lasted me like over 2 years. This was also in contender for my oldest highlight, but I think the Kylie one is just a little bit older. But this is just stunning on the cheeks. I love it. If you are in the market for a blinding highlight, blinding, get this. I love it. It's $6. It's beautiful. It's stunning. I use it all the time. I hit pan and it is 1,000,000% my most used highlight. And that was it, you guys. That was all of my answers to the highlight tag. I hope you enjoyed. I love doing these type of videos. I had so much fun doing the eyeshadow palette tag, the bronzer, and the blush ones. I will link all this down below in case you haven't seen them and you want to check them out. But yeah, I hope this was fun for you to watch, hearing me answer all of the questions. I love highlight. I love highlight. It's one of my favorite steps in my routine, just to put on the tops of your cheeks, pop it on your inner corner, just be a glowing goddess. It is, I just love it so much. Let me know down below in the comments any of your favorite highlights or any of your answers to any of the questions that I did. I'd love to know your answers as well. Don't forget I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday for you guys. If you like this video while you were watching it, please give it a big thumbs up for me. It helps me out. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome and I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye guys.